Grey Fox Brewing is a dedicated gluten-free brewery with carefully sourced products that are safe for celiacs, and it's right here in the Okanagan. I'm Chris Neufeld, and I am the owner and brewmaster at Grey Fox Brewing. I was diagnosed with celiac disease back in 2003, back when nobody even knew what gluten was, and I've had to live completely gluten-free since then. So 20 years ago when I was diagnosed, it was really difficult to find gluten-free products, especially ones that were any good. But that's changed in the last few years. It's really easy to walk into any grocery store, find gluten-free products. Even major national brands have eliminated gluten from a lot of their products, and so it's pretty easy to eat gluten-free. The exception to that is beer. There's not a lot of good gluten-free beers out there. A few years ago we saw some good ones out of the States, out of Washington, out of Oregon, but they're just not carrying them in the liquor stores here anymore. They're really hard to find. Yeah, it's a real hole in the market. It's something that I've seen discussed online in the celiac forums. You know, you see it every few weeks. Has anybody found a good beer? And the answer is always, well, have you tried this one? And nobody's ever really happy with the answer. And that's really was the reason that I decided to start this venture in the first place. There's clearly a need for something. So I started experimenting with some beer at home, just cooking up small pots of it, and disappointingly, it was not any better than the stuff that I could buy that was expensive and quite frankly not very good. But then I got introduced to some of the guys down in Oregon that are really active in the gluten-free scene, and they taught me some of the science behind how to extract the starches from the gluten-free grains that aren't so easily extracted as they are from barley. And once I learned the science behind how to convert that starch structure into the sugars required to ferment beer, game changer. All of a sudden, I was making beers that I was giving to my friends, and they couldn't tell they were any different from the craft beers that they were drinking at the tap room down the street. That's when I knew that things needed to be bigger, and that's when Grey Fox started.
I can tell you in this place, daily people ask for a gluten-free option. And so since the beginning we've had wine and cider, but we really wanted to have gluten-free beer. And we knew we couldn't brew it here, and so we've been looking for the best option. From the minute I sampled it, I thought we would serve that.
You can't expect beef to taste like deer or deer to taste like beef. That being said, when I had it, it tasted like an IPA is what he had given me. All of the characteristics of an IPA were there, but in gluten-free form. It was a great product. I like it. I would definitely serve it.
I guarantee you that we will give him a tap. If he's canning, we'll have his canned products here, because you know our hope would be, and I think his plan is, to have multiple flavors of gluten-free craft beer.
We've secured funding for our equipment. The equipment's all purchased. We found a location and we have a lease. The location's ready to go. The problem we're running into is that because of supply line issues, just the state of construction right now, it's really hard to find the materials we need to actually build it. We have everything lined up and ready to go to get really good gluten-free beer into the liquor stores and the tap rooms around the Okanagan. But to get across the finish line, we need your help. We only need another $20,000 to get this thing across the finish line and get making really good gluten-free beer. Please consider supporting us so we can start making really great beer that's safe to drink. And I look forward to raising a glass with you.